So it's been about 24 hours since we put the pork in the refrigerator. We let it go overnight. The skin dried out really nicely. You could go another day or even 2 days, but we don't really need to. So I've got the oven preheated to 500 degrees. I'm thinking about 15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. Just once the skin of the porchetta gets a little bit of color, we're going to turn down that oven to 300 degrees and let it go until a probe thermometer reads 145 and the skin is crispy. If the skin's not crispy by that time, we're going to crank the oven back up just for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to get the skin crispy, and then we're done. That's it. So it's been about 15 minutes, and as you can see, the porchetta's taken on just a little bit of color. So now I'm going to turn the oven down to 300 and let it go probably another 2 hours, maybe a little less. We'll see what happens. So I just took the porchetta out of the oven. It took about 2.5 hours, give or take a couple minutes to get up to temperature. Once it got to 140, I cranked the oven up to 500 just for about 10 minutes, just to make sure that the skin was extra crispy, and it came out wicked crispy. As you'll see when I tap on it with my serrated knife, you can hear it crack. And that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. It's got good color. We brought it to about 145. We'll let it carry over. It'll probably get up close to 155. And this should serve, 12 to 14 people. I mean, 5 pounds of pork, half a pound of pork per person is a lot. I would say you could get a few more people out than 10, especially if you got some sides with it. And I mean, for 25 bucks, this is a great meal. I mean, it looks intimidating, but once you see what you actually have to do, there's some work that goes into it, but it's not hard work. It's a little time consuming. It took 2.5 hour total cooking time, so I'm gonna let it rest for at least an hour before I slice it, and then I'll be back to show you guys what the inside looks like. Also, just a note on slicing, you always want to use a serrated knife to slice the porchetta because you want to keep that skin intact. If you use just a regular knife, you're going to crush the skin and it's all going to crumble everywhere. But if you use a serrated knife and you're gentle while you're slicing it, the skin should stay intact and stay on each piece of the porchetta. Okay, now it's time for the moment of truth. The porchetta is rested for about an hour, and it's time to slice it and see what it looks like inside. I can't believe it. As you can see, this pork is still so juicy, and it came out better than I could even have imagined to begin with. It's garlicky, it's punchy, it's so bright. It removes all of the heaviness from the fact that it's pork belly. You think it's just a heavy dish. And it still is substantial, I'm not gonna lie. But the lemon, the mustard, the Aleppo pepper, all the herbs come through and just elevate it and just bring it up and just make it so it's not as heavy and as fatty as you would think, but it just complements it so well, and it just tastes so good. It came out great. The only thing I would have done differently, I think, with this recipe is I would have spent a lot more time tenderizing the skin, only because it's a little thick. It's toothsome. It's super crispy, so it's not like it's a bad thing or anything like that, but it would be nicer if it was just a touch more delicate, if it was just like kind of crumbled away in your mouth. So I hit this thing with the meat mallet for about 2 to 3 minutes. I would maybe hit it harder and a little bit longer, but the brine is completely unnecessary. The little soft cure that we did worked out stupendously. It's amazing. I was worried that it was going to be a little dry, a little under seasoned, but that rub that we put on there penetrated all the way through every layer of that meat, surprisingly enough, and just made the flavors just pop like crazy. Like all the way through, all of the meat carries on all of those flavors. It's not like when you have one of those roasts where the outside crust tastes good and then you get to the center and you have to add some salt or whatever. Just all the way through, everything's amazing. I'm gonna post another video later on showing how to finish the sauce and also serving the porchetta. Those will come up in the next couple of days, but for now, I couldn't be happier. If you found this video informative and you liked it, hit the like button, give me a subscribe. If you make a porchetta, send it to me, post it to me. Look at my Instagram, I am Dave Hansel, give me a follow on there, send me some messages, show me how any of the recipes that I shared with you have worked out for you. Don't fight your butcher, don't do it. It turned out fine, he's a nice guy, it was an honest mistake. We worked it out, I talked to him this morning. No fisticuffs, no fighting, peaceful, shake of hands, you know. Next time, we know to do it right. It is just stupid how that, it's so good. I cannot believe it. It's dumb. It's just dumb how much it,